Tyson scrimmed against Primmie, and Tyson goes, he is mechanically the best player that I've ever played against. He is insane. He is the best angle holder ever. If you peek one by one, he will literally just on you. He says that he actually clears Aspas.
Aside from that, anyone that has actually followed the APAC rank ladder would know that Primmie is insane in those ranked games. In my last video, I talked about how Primmie ended ranked 1 in 4 acts in a row. And even at the time of this recording, he is rank 1 right now in the Asia server. So obviously, to be a rank 1 player, you need to have insane mechanics. And I think that's why so many people gravitated towards him. And then on top of that, he also has his own YouTube channel where he posts his highlights. And it's pretty apparent that once you watch one of his highlight videos that he is mechanically gifted. The problem with all of this though is that there's so much hype and pressure on Primmie that it started to make unrealistic expectations on where people were saying that Primmie might even diff Aspas. And I think that's where people are overstating the value of mechanical skill in Valorant. Now, of course, that's something that you have to have as a pro player, and it's even more important in the rank ladder because there's not as much coordination. But there's plenty of gifted mechanical players that don't really do much in the pro scene. And I think that's where pros were starting to get uncomfortable.
You think Primmie is going to diff Aspas? Yes. Yes. There's potential. Guys, are you guys high or what? Are you guys on drugs or what? Like, why are we making a 8-minute video about this guy, bro?
Look at his technique here. He's making sure he gets close to the smoke, but he doesn't want to extend his gun barrel into the smoke, so he's kind of looking at the edge of it. Right as he enters the smoke, he throws in a little crouch.
So he does the most basic things that a Valorant pro does.
And then pivots his gun.
Why is there another video about me, bro?
Now, Ardiis highlights that Primmie does pretty much what every other Valorant pro does. Now, he says that in relation to things like crouch peeking an angle or crouching when you enter a smoke. And that is true. I'm not saying that other pros don't do that. The reason why I highlight it in my video is because I think the general Valorant player base don't do that. But regardless, the question is, what does Primmie do differently that other pros don't do?
Primmie, like, I said that Primmie clears Aspas in terms of, like, aim, which I do think just straight aim. If they both let go of their keyboards and they had to aim, then Primmie does have a really like for mechanical skill in my mind, like for Valorant players, Aspas is the bar, right? So when I said that, I'm like thinking of like the reason why I'm comparing Aspas is like because Aspas is the bar that's set for like the highest mechanical ceiling. But I will say, okay, first off, if you're gonna rate the players, Aspas basically clears them in every single category: team play, and op aim, I think. But I think for rifle aim, Primmie has that right there. I think his fucking rifle is insane. And I don't really say this about people that often, but I actually think with the right mentorship, like that could be like a simple level talent right there.
So obviously, Tens is talking about Primmie's rifle aim. What does that really even mean? For me, some things I would include in rifle aim would be movement, crosshair placement, actual aim, and shooting technique, like do you tap, burst, or spray. And when I look at Primmie's rifle aim, that's exactly all the things that stand out. His movement is insane, right? He tap crouches in the middle of the gun duel. Now pros, a lot of them will crouch at the start of the duel, but not many of them will be crouching continuously throughout a duel. So in that sense, I think Primmie has better movement than a lot of players, including the pros. And crosshair placement kind of relates to pre-aiming before you peek or holding an angle and trying to kill someone after they peek you, both of which Primmie excels at. Specifically when Primmie holds an angle, he's super quick and it's almost like you have no chance. Now, in terms of raw aim, I think Primmie is very flashy, he's very fast, but more importantly, he's precise. A lot of the time when people use high sensitivity, they tend to be people that spray. A great player that does this is Texture. Texture is on a high sensitivity, he prefers the Phantom, and you'll see him go for a lot of sprays. But that's not the case with Primmie. He plays high sensitivity, but he's able to still be precise, and he actually prefers the Vandal, at least from what I've seen. And the most impressive thing about that is not only can he flick really fast, but he's also landing headshots. So in that sense, he's a standout player in terms of raw aim, at least in the Valorant community. And then as for shooting style, I think it's very satisfying to watch him play because he kind of mimics that like burst strafe movement that Aspas and Les do. And to many players, that type of shooting style is considered to be the optimal technique. So, I mean, it's pretty hard to deny, I think, that Primmie is a mechanical talent. I think he's already proven that not only is he an insane mechanical player, but he's also an insane player in the pro scene. At one point in their game against Lev, Primmie had 21 kills, and the next player on his team had 7.
That's actually insane. I hadn't even really paid attention to the 21 and 9. The next guy has 7.
Yeah.
And even Ardiis can appreciate his mechanical skill.
Bro, this kid might be incredible, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Spike
I might message Navi to tell him to pick him up, bro.
So I'll send the question back to you guys. Do you think Primmie deserves the hype? Well, if you guys were inspired after watching Primmie and wanted to focus in on your own improvement in Valorant, then I would love to work one-on-one with you and try to help you reach your rank goals. Check out the description or join the Discord for more details. Aside from that, if you haven't seen the last Primmie video, check it out here. We go into a little bit more in depth on how he actually utilizes his crouch peeks to win duels.